The seed of virtuous conduct is required for one's own development and also for the establishment of social harmony. Can you talk about the physics or process of how virtue works for our self-development?
Virtue and vices sometimes it differ from place to place, time to time. It is relative to time and space, number of things. But the basic virtue, the basic goodness, I think the nature, that is always unchanging. It does not depend on time or place or space, whatever it may be. It is everlasting truth. So, if you are able to discover that inner goodness of yourself, then you automatically become yourself a virtuous person. And a virtuous person relates with the community or with the society, then a harmonious society becomes possible. Without awakening the basic goodness, simply trying to achieve a harmonious society might become an imposed harmonious, imposed by law or imposed by social behavior or imposed by local conditions, customs. This kind of harmonious living or harmonious society is temporary, superficial, which can be disturbed so easily. I think today the modern world, we have a lot of conflicts and confrontations because we do not have a real harmonious living, because we have lost the real goodness of all the individuals. So in a short, I might say that understanding of self is the key to awake the goodness. If you forcibly observe yourself, as we conceive a very strong monolithic self, somebody calls your name and your immediate reaction is, I am here. And somebody praise you, you become very proud, or somebody abuse you, you become very anger, annoyed. And at that time, on which you are thinking of yourself is not the real self. It is just an imaginative and imposed self. So that is the hindrance of not knowing the self. Why the Buddhist people talk about the selflessness, the niratma? It does not mean annihilation, individual do not exist. We do not talk about that. And even the other religious tradition, the Hindus and the Jains, they talk about the soul, atma, and the Buddhists talk about soullessness. It appears to be talking opposite things, but actually they are not talking opposite things. Both of them saying that you are not realizing, you are not seeing the soul or the yourself, the real self. So you are just imagining some different self which is just thrown upon you and which covers all your inner wisdom, inner intelligence. So you have to remove this cover and then see the interdependently originated and changing, ever-changing self. Perhaps this is a bit technical word. Everything exists there interdependently. So self is also an interdependent nature. That interdependent and the ever-changing self, you are able to see that, then your inner goodness will come out, and then you are able to build a very harmonious society around you. Sorry, I'm too long. Is it difficult to?
No, it's a beautiful discourse, and what we'll do is we can think on it, reflect on it,
Right.
Seth, after some time.
Hi, my name is Lindsay. We found a quote from you about the 3 conditions for something to be considered an authentic tradition. 1, being taught by an authentic or divine source. 2, transmitted by means of an unbroken lineage. And 3, verifiable through common sense and self-knowledge. Yesterday we spoke with His Holiness, and he told us that common experience and common sense are important in creating genuine universal values. Do you think authentic traditions always carry universal values?
I think so. I would say yes. Tradition is a term which refers to a very different or very unique continuity. But today we use the tradition for all kind of perpetuated customs or habits. Long-term perpetuated custom habit doesn't become a tradition. For example, in India, there's a long time perpetuated caste discrimination, and this caste discrimination is not a part of Indian spirituality. It is not a tradition, but it is a bad system which is being perpetuated for a long time. So tradition means, firstly, it must originated from an authentic source. If in the Christian terminology it may say from divine source. Authentic source means a source which have a knowledge, which have the perception of truth. Only that source can create a tradition. And then that teaching comes from lineage, unbroken lineage. Buddha taught to his direct disciples, and his direct disciples taught their own direct disciples. And we can recount for the last 2,500 years of the teaching lineage of the Buddha until now. So it is coming about through this kind of lineage. Then similarly, it need to be verifiable scientifically or by common sense or by logic. It is illogical or it is scientifically wrong, then we can't think it as a tradition. So all the tradition, if you reach the real tradition, it may be Christianity, it may be Muslim, it may be Hinduism, it may be Buddhism. The real tradition is always talking about a universal value. But then these traditions are gradually disappeared, and many other outside alterations and things are come. Then today we are considering many things as a tradition of some religion or some society. They are not tradition. They are not talking about universal value. Universal value means a value which can be known by any person without depending on entering into a faith of certain religion. Atheist or non-believers can also verify a universal value, because the value is universal, then that is knowable and acceptable to, should be accepted to everyone. So that's,
Hi.
hi.
As the next generation coming forward, do you have any advice you'd like to give us?
No. Many people ask me to give advice, so I always say I'm not an advisor. Advice will do not work. Advice sometimes can mislead you. You are energetic young person, and you have all the necessary conditions, facilities, and ability to know the truth for yourself, to find your way by your own wisdom, and that wisdom will be authentic to you. It may not be authentic for everybody, but it will be authentic to you. So therefore, you should not depend on advices. You should depend on your own wisdom, and for that you have to work hard. To seek advice is easy going job. To find the truth by yourself, that is little difficult, and you have to work hard and continuously, and then you will find it.
Thank you very much. That was wonderful. Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
We can think about what he said for the next 10 years, okay?